Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a look here at Kadena, kind of see what's going on, of course. Help us understand best practice, big picture, and really what's going to happen next. Is this continuation going to continue? Now, if you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. I really just love teaching people how to trade. I hope you can learn something here today. If so, comment below. Let me know if you did. Do you want to learn a lot more and become a better, more foundational trader? CryptoCache.tech is the website. Link in the description below. And look forward to working with you there. I have a Signal group, trading community, and trading academy where I teach you how to become a better trader. Now taking a look here at KDA, here's a simple way to look at it. First of all, we've got a nice key level support we can see the price bounce off of at about $6.36. So that was a nice support that caused the catalyst essentially to increase from here. That being said, we are also up over the 50-day SMA and we're trending closer towards the 200-day SMA. The 50 working as a support level here today. You can see it kind of came down to test that and a bounce. That's a very, very good sign. Ultimately, just kind of reaffirming the fact that we're on the right side of the tracks here. We also got a tentative bounce off of 50 on the RSI when it came down to $6.36, and it continued back higher, of course, upwards. Now we're upwards of about 60 on the RSI. So being right there in the middle is very healthy, very nice. It really just allows us to have a lot more leg room to leg up again if we need to, and to essentially have more wiggle room, so to speak. So if the price were to increase over the next couple of days, it wouldn't be considered to be overextended. Okay, so really good stuff there in that sense. I like what KDA is showing us for the moment, and I ultimately like just generally the overall sense of where we're at in the SMA, the way the price bounced off that key level Fibonacci retracement line, which as we can see previously was a strong resistance. Surprise, it's a new support level, and we can assume that the price will never come lower than $6.36 again. Now, will it come lower than $7.11? Probably not, considering that was also a point here where it could not pass that for two of the last 7 trading days roughly. So generally speaking, we're in really good shape here to be able to see 7-11 be the most, the most lowest point in which we should expect the price to go. Because you can see this just working its way right within these Fibonacci retracement levels. So it's kind of just staying within those ranges and working pretty well. So all in all, I think 7-11 is going to be the lowest in the immediate future. So taking a look at the 4 hour though, here's kind of what's going on. We're above both moving averages. We can see a lot more volume now in the last 4 hours, or at least the last 8 hours, than we have seen in quite some time. It's extremely important, especially on a weekend. So seeing that kind of volume on a weekend is pretty cool. Having that volume continue throughout the work week, the traditional Monday through Friday, stock market open and close, that would be another story. We want to see that volume continue because, in other words, if we don't have that volume, we're not going to see that consistency. Okay, we need to see this volume continue not just throughout the weekend, but also throughout the work week. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But we're a bit on the overextended side. Obviously, you can see that the price kind of came up, got rejected off of 70 on the RSI. It hit a 6. Now we're up to an 8. And at this point, we probably only have about 4 more hours of continuation of the upside. The likelihood of a pullback is quite high, just in the grand scheme of the fact that it was pushed up. But keep this in mind, the pullback may not be that significant based on the fact that we have a lot of volume. That volume speaks very loud and allows for us to understand that that could and very well should maintain that price action. And you can see this resistance level again, once again, at $7.11. That's now a new support. So $7.12 if we round up a little bit. $7.12 is probably the likely bottom for KDA if it were to come back down. Okay. Again, just keep that in mind. We're overextended, so pullback is potential, but worst case scenario, or better case rather, the price goes sideways and we essentially consolidate right here at this resistance and break 772 eventually. That could very well happen. Take a look though at, once again, we look at the RSI, MACD, everything's kind of looking pretty good here. The 4 hour looks very nice. It's a nice transitionary time frame. Really just kind of push us through that, that we get this this nice catalyst to push us straight through that resistance level. And now that could potentially work as a support. So we could see a couple scenarios, the price kind of consolidate right around here to eventually leg up for, kind of a type of pennant pattern we could see. We could also see the price again retrace here and bounce off that support. I'd like to see it retrace and bounce off support so we can get into, in at a lower price point, but also have more of a leg to stand on when the price comes up higher, because then you have more foundation of volume at a lower price point. In fact, if we look at just say a larger time frame here, just in general, like ever since it's been retracing, I'm willing to guess we'll see the most amount of volume right there at that support level at 636, which is right where we spent the most amount of time. So again, the price going any lower than 636 is extremely low. 7 and 12 should be the most likely bottom here in the immediate future. So looking good there in that sense. I would say a DCA target would be somewhere around the 712, 715 range, just in case you're to get filled on the way down. What I want to do is actually set an alert for 720. So if the price comes down to that point, might consider taking entry if everything looks good. Taking a look, of course, here at TD Sequential, or sorry, let's start with Ichimoku Cloud. All green lights. There's really nothing much to note here, but you can kind of see, again, hindsight's 2020, but when the price broke above the cloud, that would have been a great entry consideration based on the simple fact that it has nice continuation, the conversion lines above the baseline, and the lagging span was free and clear of price action at the time. So again, all good stuff here in that sense. Kadena's proven to continue to increase, but generally speaking, when you look and see something like this, a break above the cloud, that's something to want to pay attention to, and that was basically telling us that it's ready and willing to continue to progress higher. But right now, there's literally no reason to want to sell your position. It's basically letting us know that, hey, keep your long position open, even if it were to retrace. The likelihood of continuing upwards and over is very high. Okay, so again, very good stuff here for Kadena. I like it. In fact, what we could do is draw out a trend line as well, kind of see worst case scenario. If this weren't to happen, just say today, how many hours would it take? Well, roughly sometime tomorrow, around tomorrow evening, we should experience a break to the upside if this trend line were to continue to maintain itself. Now, a trend line is best and most beneficial, I've noticed, if you have more than 3 touches. We've got one here and one here. We haven't touched it a third time yet. So this trend line isn't like official, like we can rely on this here yet. But if it comes over, just say the price comes over and does one of those or bounces essentially, then we can confirm that this trend line is continuing, and then we can start using that as kind of a baseline of where the price might continue to progress. But for right now, in most cases, you'll probably see something along the lines of consolidation or break to the upside. It's more likely than not because it's working itself into an ascending type of pattern right now. So we could even see a pennant type of pattern bounce. There's a few different scenarios, but again, the likelihood of it coming up is higher than it is coming down. And what I mean by that is more so macro. Long-term, big picture, Kadena is likely to continue higher, whereas the immediate future, in the next couple, just say 12 to 24 hours, we might see a retracement or a pullback from Kadena based on the simple fact that it's getting rejected by this resistance level at 773, but also hasn't built enough volume, and this is just, this is a lot of volume, don't get me wrong. This is very helpful. That's going to help the price maintain itself. But we need it to go sideways a little longer because it is a bit on the overextended side. Once again, the 4-hour told us we're at an 8 on TD Sequential, and we probably got a reset here, but yet we got an 8 even though we did get a reset down here as well. So if you can see this here just in retrospect, we hit a 9, pretty much went sideways, up to an 8, so we should expect more sideways action from here. I think it would be disadvantageous for the price to continue to progress higher from here, because then we'd have more likelihood of a pullback. If we want the price to maintain itself, we want some sideways action. So if it goes sideways from here on out, next 24 hours, perfect. That's exactly what we want. And then we want to see the leg up from there tomorrow. So I would say within the next 24 hours, we're going to see a break to the upside. But between now and then, we might see a waiver somewhere between 720 and 770. All right, so that's all in all what we're looking at there. Hopefully you found benefit here, of course, and it made sense how I described that. But generally speaking, Kadena is looking overall very good. I think big picture, strong return on investment, and this has proven to do very well for itself in the past. But don't expect this kind of meteoric rise in the immediate future. I would expect something more along the lines of maybe $8 to $10, perhaps within the next couple of weeks as a best case scenario. But we still want to wait and make sure this trend line is holding. Okay? Trend is your friend. Always stick to that if possible. All right, thanks again for joining me here. I hope you learned something once again, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. CryptoCache.tech is a site. Link in the description below if you want to become a better trader. Look forward to meeting you. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.